What's up, YouTube? Today, well, it'll probably take a couple days, but we're gonna get started on, we're gonna take this apart and we're gonna see what different sole plates fit on it. I've heard the Sway sole plate, the M12 sole plate, and the Fifth Element sole plate all fit on it pretty good. I do have a size 9 Fifth Element sole plate. That one I'm not sure will work. And if that doesn't work, I have a size 10 M12 sole plate, but this is a size 9 Tnec boot. So I'm not sure if that's gonna work on, if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna order in a size 9 Sway sole plate and see if I can get that Frankenstein to work. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we got the drill and we have to go in, because this was all riveted, we have to go drill out all those rivets to get the sole frame off of the Tnec skate. But yeah, I'm filming by myself, so I'm not gonna be able to get in there and film it at the same time. So we're just gonna jump to once those are all out. Okay. All right, so I used a 3/16 drill bit. I had to go from the inside to get the rivets to break, and we broke that all off. So now, moment of truth. Let's see, M12 sole plate. Are y'all high? M12 sole plate is a negatory. That's not gonna work. I guess that's proof that all you haters that called the Tnec boot just an M12, it's not an M12. It's way wider, especially in the arch area. Yeah, I don't think you'd have to do so much dremeling on the sole plate itself to get this to fit. Yeah, not even gonna waste my time on that. M12 is a bust. But, one second, let me grab. All right, let's try the Fifth Element. Let's see. It'll probably be too much space without a skin on it, since it's, you know? It's not as bad as like an M12 without a skin. That is actually, it's actually fairly doable. Yeah, that's doable. It's not perfect, but if you really wanted to skate this boot, you could, technically. That's cool. I'm gonna do a few other things to it, and then I think I'm gonna order some Sway sole plates and see if I can get the size 9 Sway sole plate to work, which I think would be sick. See you in the next, it'll cut to a while, because I'm gonna have to wait for other sole plates to come in the mail. See you in a bit. All right, everybody, been in the garage, grinding, trembling, doing stuff. This is the finished product of my Tnec modification. The only ugly thing is that little space back there on the heel. The toe box looks really good. I'm gonna get some clips skating these sometime this week, and then I'll follow up with you on how they feel. But I think this is gonna be a fun skate. It's got that nice, like, razors type plastic from the Tnec boot. And then this is one of my favorite sole plates and frames. So, yeah, should be good. Keep you guys posted. So I skated this today, and earlier in the video you saw kind of how I made it. Sorry, it's really hard for me to focus on like filming everything I do while I'm doing it. I kind of get in the zone and then I like do all the work. Then I'm like, oh, I didn't film that. So just a quick recap of what I did. I took off all the rivets on the Tnec skate. I took that sole frame off because that frame is not for me. The sole plate shape and everything and groove of it is good, but I really am not a big fan of the Tnec groove. For flat, it works kind of okay. You have to groove it in a whole lot. I don't skate that much street and didn't want to put in that much work because I think a flat frame should be skatable out of the box, in my opinion. Any good product should be skatable out of the box. And then, yes, once you break it in, it should be even better, but it should be skatable out of the box. And then for anti, that frame was horrible. And I also had some chunks and chips on the sole plate because that plastic was just a little soft for some of the grinding and stuff I like to do. But I was looking at it, it looked like the Fifth Element sole plate would go on there. So I took off the sole frame, put the Fifth Element sole plate on there, put my old reliable Kaiser frames on there with some anti-rockers and then just some cheap stock wheels. And yeah, I think it turned out like pretty good. The only thing that looks kind of ugly is kind of similar to if you put an M12 on this sole plate without the Valo skin, kind of the same thing. But the toe gap on the front looks really good because this toe box is way wider than the M12 toe box. It's just back here by the heels. But I think I may put some silicone or something in there to fill it all in. I wouldn't recommend doing that for other people, but this would make it like a one-time thing. Not probably going to tear this skate apart after that, which is fine because this was all made from basically spare beat up broken parts. But yeah, that was pretty fun. So let's talk about, it was super fun to make it, very therapeutic to go in the garage and cut stuff apart, drill stuff, put stuff back together. That was fun. Let's talk about how it skated. It was actually way funner than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to feel super crappy. The plastic of the boot definitely still feels cheap. And even though I put tape underneath the bottom and with the new sole plate and everything, it does have a much better thud. Like that's a way better, sorry, dogs don't like it when I thump stuff, but that's a way better thud than like the stock Tnec skate. But still when you're grinding, it's really weird. Like H-block tricks had this like hollow like clack to it. And that's not a big deal. Like it's kind of a cheaper skate. And again, this is a Frankenstein skate where I was just kind of going nuts and cutting stuff apart, putting stuff together. But I think if I were to fill, and I think that's partially because there's that big hollow spot on the sole plate. And so I think just when you hit, that leaves room for noise to echo around and make an interesting noise when you're grinding stuff. But I think I'm going to fill that in with like just some white silicone. And that'll actually it'll make it a little heavier, but that'll make the thud like really good. And like I said, I'm probably not taking this skate apart anytime soon. But yeah, it's fun. It skated pretty good. I was able to do some tricks. I haven't skated in a while, so I was a little rusty, but that wasn't the skate's fault. That was just my body. So if you're judging the footage and you're like, it wasn't that good, that's me. It's not the skate. But, oh, and I also, a couple other things I did. I didn't just put the sole plate on. The top of my arches hurt really bad in this boot. So I also cut like a little flex point right there. And that did help. Like the top of my arches felt fine after I did that. And then this cheaper cuff had like a ton of forward flex. So I just put a little, bolt through the back. This is actually just a small T-nut bolt. So I put like the T-nut on the inside and then put this right through it. And that worked great. I actually think fixed cuffs are sick. Like there's no back flex and the forward flex is still kind of all just up here in the buckle and it still works. And the lateral flex was great. Like topside and royales were super easy. But yeah, let me know what you think. Would you do a mod like this? Do you think that was kind of a silly waste of time? Yeah, I'm probably not going to do this too many more mods. I will say This modded to the Fifth Element plate is good, and then the M12 modded with the sway plate are probably the two most successful mods I've done. Probably some of the last ones I'm going to do. It's just like a lot of work. It's not really worth it unless you're that die hard for a certain boot. I will say this though, like, it surprisingly skated good enough that, like, if I was ever really frustrated with a skate, or say I'm not, nor will I ever be, but say someone like Joe Atkinson, where he's kind of frustrated with the industry and like maybe some brands don't treat him as good as he wants, I would do something like this. I would just find a boot that fits my foot really good, and I just put whatever sole plate I want on it. And yeah, this is a good like fallback boot for me. Like if I'm ever annoyed or having a hard time with whatever pair of skates I'm currently on, I might just shelf them for a while and take this out for a spin, because for how cheap it was, it's pretty fun. But yeah, that is the Tnec Fifth Element Frankenstein skate. See you guys in the next video.